Friends, our hearts and our thoughts are with the people of Ukraine as the battle for freedom and democracy enters the third year. I feel the energy, I feel the passion, I feel the commitment of all of you here. Even as some seek to switch alliances or alter truth, the city of Toronto will always stand with Ukraine, and the people of Toronto will always stand with Ukraine.
Thank you very much. Bonjour tout le monde. Thank you for joining the Stand Up for Ukraine pledging event. I'm so pleased to be co-convening this important event. Ursula, we've been intensely working towards this event for a while now, but I need to pause for a moment on your leadership and your commitment to protect those in need, which demonstrates such a strong compassion and a strong presence of humanitarianism. We can always count on you to bring people together, and I want to thank you for all your hard work and for everything you did with your visit to Kyiv yesterday, highlighting just the atrocities, but also so much the human side of this war. I also want to thank President Duda of Poland and Hugh Evans, CEO of Global Citizen, for helping make this possible. We're here today to answer President Zelensky's call for the international community to mobilize in support for Ukrainian refugees and
So there you see it, the Ukraine, they received a pledge, a publicly announced pledge for the support of Canada, Toronto, to stand with them, And this is in the face of war, man-made war, unlike the disaster that just totally wreaked havoc and damage in Jamaica at the winds of Hurricane Melissa, It's not a war that has caused the devastation and the impact of adults and children, the infrastructure of Jamaica right now. But what happened in the Ukraine is a man-made war and destruction. And there we have the current mayor of Toronto giving a heartfelt commitment to supporting the Ukraine. And then the previous prime minister of this country. When I posted that it took the current prime minister of this country 9 days to publicly acknowledge, I'm not talking about the money that the Canada said they're allocating to Jamaica. I'm talking about the humanistic approach. And if any of you have studied social work or any human services courses or psychology, you know about Maslow's needs. He has a hierarchy of needs that human beings need to survive. One of which of those is human interaction. And this country gave no support, no public announcement of their support to Jamaica at this time. And then we have Southern Asians declaring that they were the best immigrants to arrive here in the North. Sometimes it's not all about the almighty dollar. It's about the integrity and the humanitarianism. And money can't hold you and comfort you and encourage you. It could only buy things that will come and then go, and things that you won't remember on your dying bed. You don't know. And for this country, for the current prime minister to say he reached out to Jamaica's prime minister, yet you didn't stand up, not even the current mayor of the city of Toronto, who attended the Jamaican Jerk Fest, waving the Jamaican flag around and dancing and saying how strong and resilient we are yet you're silent to Jamaicans in in their darkest hour of need right now. And I'm not talking about money. You forgot the contributions that were made to this country by Jamaicans who immigrated to this country. Who you ask? Let's talk about Donovan Bailey, who Olympic gold medal winning sprinter. Donovan Bailey is a Jamaican. RJ Barrett is a professional basketball player for the Toronto Raptors. Jamaican Rowan Barrett, a retired basketball player, and is actually the current general manager of the Canada men's national basketball team. He's a Jamaican. You see where I'm getting at? And the contributions that Jamaicans made to this country. And it took the current prime minister 9 days to publicly acknowledge you forgot those gold medals from the basketball players, RJ Barrett, sprinter Donovan Bailey, Trevor Berbick, who was a former professional boxer, Khadijah Buchanan, and Tejan Buchanan, who are members of the Canadian national soccer team. Let's talk about Shai Alexander, a professional basketball player. Kayla and Kyle Alexander, professional basketball players. Forget about sports then. Business and arts. Michael Lee Chin, who was a Jamaican Canadian billionaire and businessman. Noel Cunningham, an award winning chef and culinary personality, featured on Canadian television, yet you had nothing to say for 9 days. Prime Minister Liberty Silver. She's a Canadian singer of Jamaican descent. These Jamaicans and descendants of Jamaica put Canada on the map. These are Jamaicans who immigrated here. And Southern nations, you still want to talk Gaza and say that what? You were the best immigrants to arrive here? When last did you people win a gold medal? How about Janet Sears? She's an award-winning playwright and director. Gloria Rubin, the actress known for her roles in ER and Lincoln, Gloria Rubin. And then there's Taylor Russell. She was on that show called Yellow Jackets. How about all them Jamaicans who have contributed? The only time we saw the mayor screaming at the tip of her lungs was at Jerk Fest to make a mockery of us, yo. And you people want to come and tell me people are never grateful? What should we be grateful for here in Canada? Look at all the great Jamaican and descendants of Jamaica achievers that put this lame country out there on the map. And you take 9 days to acknowledge the catastrophe that just demolished the island of Jamaica, where a lot of you people go on honeymoon and get married at. Yet still for 9 days, you had nothing to say. I heard some people commenting on the picture I posted. Oh, he was in Asia, who is known for the best technology in this world. Japan, you could go underground and use the internet. It only takes 2 minutes, even if you didn't mean it. And as for the Ukraine regarding Jamaicans, all you people who want to debunk me, go and Google everything I just shared with you. Just simply type in Jamaicans in Canada who were famous, and all this info I just read to you shall be found right there. And I hope some Southern Asians go there if they could spell Jamaica, and go and then address yourself and check yourself who were the best immigrants to arrive here in Canada. And another thing, all you Jamaican born people that are here right now, you see how they lit up the CN Tower in the Ukraine colors of the Ukrainian flag? How they lit up the CN Tower with the colors to celebrate Diwali the other day, and the stinking mess they left for the city to clean up. I want you to remember something. When war just began between Vladimir and the Ukraine, I want you to remember the students that were going to school, Jamaican students that were going to school. And when they were evacuating people, those very same racist, anti-Black racist Ukrainians who refused, innocent Jamaican students that had nothing to do with the war between Russia and the Ukraine, that were told to get off the train, and the world saw them punish those Jamaican students just because they were Black, and they had to get off the train and walk to safety. Do you remember that? And some of you Black people here in Canada want to debunk and call people ungrateful. Is that what you're grateful for? Go back and check the history, where we stand in this country. We just put a petition in to the Canadian government to implement laws and legislation to protect us Black people on this cold, frozen continent that we worship these racist, they're ungrateful politicians and leaders who only smile when people like Donovan Bailey won a medal, or when you see a Black Jamaican debuted on ER and Lincoln. That's the only time you acknowledge. But in the face of disaster and destruction, where is your acknowledgement? I don't care how much money you sent. You never lit up the CN Tower in the last 9 days with the black, gold, and green colors to show your support for Jamaica the way you did for the Ukraine. And as for you, Uncle Tom sellouts, because I have no better word for uno, you're a bunch of sellout, backer worshiping slaves in modern day and age, house Negroes that do not understand what you mean to this country. Nothing. The petition that was submitted by Black people, United for Change, they just slapped back with a very baseless response, because in their eyes, they won't applaud these great Jamaicans, that they didn't care about, that their homeland is a wreck right now. They had time to applaud an American, nasty, anti-Black, racist ideologist. So that very same day, when the handful of Black people and Palestinians were outside the House of Commons pleading the cause for Black people in this country, they were applauding a very dirty, stinking, racist, deceased man that's not even of Canadian blood. So you say we're ungrateful? I want you to tell me in the comments what you think I or any other Black person has to be grateful for in this country. You don't know. Think.